What is going on, Governor? It's Chisgule here, and today we're going to talk all about how you can get better use of Joan of Arc in the battlefield, because she's really, really, seriously good. If you like Rise of Kingdoms videos where we help you make the most of your commanders, that is a thing we do, so you should like and subscribe. We've got a ton of videos on that. We are a sponsored creator with Rise of Kingdoms. My friends, I think you are probably sleeping on Joan of Arc, because let me tell you something. Everybody playing this game pretty much is underrating the support tree. They are underrating the support tree. Joan of Arc has the support tree, and she has a way to generate rage. This commander is busted good, and we're so confident in that, we're going to respec her right now. We're going to change her talents and show you just how good she is. You see, we've got her set up for gathering, and this is a pretty sweet gathering build. We got some march speed over here. We got some march speed over here. We got all the gathering talents, but you're not here to gather. You're here to slay. So let's talk about how you slay. In the open field, there's a couple builds that I think are good. Bear in mind, I'm down the max number of talent points. I'm at 52. Technically, you could have a few more if you got your way all the way to 60. What you're looking at here is almost the entirety of the support tree. We are missing 1 point in counterattack, which I would go and get. We drop 1 point into the gathering tree for the march speed, and then we make our way over here for this march speed boost. Now, one other build you could rock if you weren't trying to use a mixed army, which is what we're doing here by grabbing armed to the teeth, is you could instead go for a all cavalry march, or really all whatever kind of march you want, and then put the extra talent points in to get fresh recruits, increasing your capacity by 3% and removing the restriction of bringing a mixed set of troops. Because guess what? Joan of Arc, yo, she don't care what kind of troops you bring, which is really, really good. Now, let's talk about why this commander is so busted good. Besides the fact that I like the additional march speed from these charge talents, which, by the way, these charge talents aren't nearly as good as the ones in the cavalry tree. It's this right over here. You knew I was going to say this. It's all about Rejuvenate. Rejuvenate generates 150 rage whenever a skill is used. And people are like, oh, that's pretty good, right? No, that's busted good. That's busted good. Correct that. Busted good. Let me explain why. The reason this is busted good is that it creates a rage engine. A rage engine refers to the fact that when you do a thing, that gets better and better and better and better at doing that thing, like an engine in a car. Once you get going, that thing goes faster and faster and faster as you put in more gas. And that's exactly how this works. As you are hitting things and skills start to fire off, you generate more rage. But because you've generated lots of rage, that means your time for this to fire off and to happen again goes down. So the very first time you get the benefit of Rejuvenate takes, let's say, 10 seconds. But the next time around, it's only going to take 5 or 6 seconds tops to get Rejuvenate to start to fire off again and again and again. And if you have more ways to generate rage, well, that is just going to get completely out of hand. So let's actually go in and re-specialize our Joan of Arc to show you just how busted this is. And the build we are going to go with, in this case, is the mixed army build. You could also do this in a way so that you're not constrained to, again, having that mixed army, in which case you go the field route. And I actually think this is a pretty good route to go and eventually making way to fresh recruits. But let's make the switch and then take her onto the battlefield to show you just how busted this is. And y'all, it's busted. Here we go. Switch, confirm. Boom. Now, there is one other thing about Joan of Arc contributing to her rage engine. By the way, this rage engine's out of control, which is that the first skill gives you 50 rage per second for 4 seconds when you have the expertise skill. So this means that Joan of Arc's skill is going to fire off. Not only do you get the 150 rage from Rejuvenate, you get 200 rage over the course of the 4 seconds. Then when the second commander's skill fires off, boom, another 150 rage. This is out of hand. It's out of hand, and gosh darn it, everybody's underestimating it. So let's go in and show you what that looks like. And I'm going to use just T4 troops, even though we could use T5, just to have more time to show you the rage engine. Now, there's a lot of pairings that are really, really good here. A lot of pairings that are really, really good. Any commander that cares about rage is going to be great. Any commander that cares about rage is going to be great. So if we make Joan of Arc the primary, there's a lot of great secondaries that you could use at just the epic tier. At just the epic tier, you'd love to rock Sun Tzu. That sweet AoE. Oh my gosh, the two of them together. Oh, I just didn't even think about that till now. That would be so much rage. It would be insane. It would be insane, and that's because Sun Tzu is doing, what, 50 rage per target hit? Oh my gosh, the two of them would just be cannons. Cannons, it'd be busted. Use it. It's good. It's good. Now, of course, these are just good commanders. You use them with anybody. They're good, but you could use Kusunoki. You could use, and I would argue there's better than Kusunoki that you could do. You could use Boudica, adding to that rage engine, making it get completely out of control. I like that idea, so I'm going to swap that in right now. You could get even more out of hand and use Pelagius. That would even further extend that rage engine. You could use Herman to rock the silence, and he's got a fourth skill that generates rage. Anybody that generates rage is going to get out of hand. The other engine you can rock is the damage engine. And Osman has a skill that makes it so that whenever an active skill is used, he deals 400 damage factor. Well, guess what? If you're machine gunning off these skills, that's going to be really, really good. Let's do this for now. Let's show you the busted rage engine. And let's use a commander that's going to most contribute to that. Let's rock Pelagius. And I said we're going to bring a mixed army, but now I find myself wishing I'd done the build for single troop. Whatever. This is fine. We're going to rock a mixed army slightly. Little of this, little of this. This is more than I probably even need, but it's fine. The rest cavalry, we'll get them out on the field. All right, now let's go find something fun to hit and show you the rage generation in action. Level 22s, level 24. 24 is better. Let's go over here. Now, at the legendary tier, you got a lot of really good pairing options. You could definitely use Yi Seong-Ye secondary and bring all archers, and this would be busted good. Even though there's not synergy with Destiny, this is fine. A commander that I think would also be really quite good would be Ethelfled. Cranking this out seems really, really good to me. I think she would be exceptional in this capacity. I actually even think a commander like Minamoto, bring full cavalry, use him as the secondary, totally legit. Totally legit. Optimally, you'd have some amount of healing to trigger the talents that we picked up that makes it so you do extra damage after healing happens. I think Freddy would be an amazing pairing with Joan of Arc, rock Freddy as the secondary. And honestly, we may take him for a spin and just show you what that looks like. But for now, we've got our mixed army. We've got our mixed army, and it's time to hit. Let's target this 24. This rage engine is going to be so out of hand. Maybe we should have just even brought less troops. I don't know. Now let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the first skill fires off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now the skills are firing off again. And, by the way, Pelagius triggers healing, which is going to trigger Joan of Arc's extra damage. Let me look at this machine gun. Look at this machine gun. Freaking outstanding. This is what we're talking about. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Now, look, I get that Joan of Arc, she's not doing big damage, okay? But she's helping literally everybody around you do big damage, and that is totally worth it. That is 100% totally worth it. Let's go get a commander that does big damage. Like, let's go take Freddy out for a spin. We'll just show you what this looks like. I'm telling you, everybody is sleeping on commanders that have the support tree. Everybody is undervaluing them. They are very, very, very strong. They are very strong. I cannot emphasize enough, right? And if you even go and look, by the way, in Sunset Canyon, and it's like, oh, let's see who's near the top. We'll see how many Joan of Arcs we can find in here. Or if I prove myself wrong, which would be hilarious. Hold on. Ethelfled's in here. A level 50 Ethelfled, okay? Level 50 Ethelfled. Number 2 spot. Why? Support tree. Support tree is good. Continuing on. What do we got? Let's see here. There it is. Number 4. This is the kingdom with the white tigers, okay? These players are serious. The number 4 player is using Joan of Arc as a primary, okay? I'm telling you, Joan of Arc, and there's a couple more Joan of Arcs showing up, but not as a primary. Joan of Arc, there it is again, number 10. Joan of Arc primary. Joan of Arc is a busted good. Okay, use her as a primary. Use her as a primary. Let's go send Joan of Arc again. And this time, let's pair a commander that does big damage, just to show you what that looks like. Let's take Freddy out for a spin. He's got healing, which is going to trigger the talents associated with that. He does big damage, which is really solid. Where is he at? There he is. And we're going to bring a mixed army again. I'm also going to avoid bringing a huge number of troops. We'll bring mostly archers because we've got the special unit for archers. I don't want to do too much damage here and kill the darn thing so fast that you don't get to enjoy watching the rage engine because it's so good. It's so good. If you're the kind of player that's only bringing one march to the battle, by the way, this is another commander that's just really amazing to use as a primary for those charge talents because... Not charge. Hasty departure. Because you can... Oh, here. We'll just go to a flag. I can go to this flag, and you see how slow my troops are right now. This is without hasty departure. But when they leave the flag, watch this. Boom. Look at that. 60% faster. It's good. It's really good. It's really quite good. And again, there's an argument to be made here. I should have gone with a build that lets you bring... only one type of troop and that would be better because then I could bring full cavalry. And I actually do tend to think that might be the better pickup, especially because having more troops means that you do more healing and you do more damage from healing and damage factor. So I like fresh recruits. Let's go and let's hit this thing and show you how amazing this is with a commander like Freddy, who really wants a rage engine, wants that generation of rage in order to do extra damage. So here we go. Boom. There's the infantry health, cavalry defense, and archer attack. Now Freddy fires off 1, 2. He got 2 hits there. All right, but Freddy pops off again. 1, 2, 3 hits. And then Freddy's popping off again. Boom. This is amazing. This is very, very strong. This is really, I think people are sleeping on this. In Ark of Osiris League, people should probably be using Joan primary, and they're not. People should be highly valuing support commanders more than they are today. And it's not a coincidence, I think, that some of these support commanders came to the game later. And to use them effectively, you really do want them to be the primary. I'm debating just putting some sculptures onto Saladin so I can start starring him up and leveling up, because I really do want to max this skill before I proceed. And that's because he's got the support tree. I'm debating whether or not to max the first 2 skills on Constantine, call it a day, level him up, because he's got the support tree. The only reason I haven't is because he's kind of countered by Alexander the Great. Otherwise, I would have snapped that off a long time ago. I'm telling you, the support tree is where it's at. Now, the easy answer for like, oh, Chisgule, this is very interesting. Who should I be using? Right? Besides Joan of Arc, Ethelfled. So good. So if you're free to play, you're bringing 2 marches onto the field. You bring your Joan of Arc, you bring your Ethelfled, and you're cruising, baby. You're cruising. Hopefully you learned something in this video, because gosh darn it, I find myself learning more and more about this game and these commanders all the time. The complexity is excellent, and I'm enjoying unpacking it. And I love when we find something that I think a lot of people are honestly just sleeping on. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom. Seriously, crush people with that Joan of Arc, y'all. Use that Ethelfled. Rock that Saladin. Who else is support? What's a alliteration with C for Constantine? Just use him. Have fun.